Okay, as I promised, I'm posting this video. Um, you may call it a coming out video. I'm calling it a life story video as of so far. I always knew I was different when I was 5 years old, putting on my sister's dresses and stuff. Of course, my mom would kid and say I was the other daughter that she never had. Um, when I was born, my twin was stillborn. So yeah, there would have been two of me. But this is a picture of me when I was 8 years old. And this is actually a picture of me when I was 4 years old. Of course, it's black and white. And yes, I love motorcycles. Uh, this is when I was 9 years old. It's at that time that I went to one of my mom's friends' house. Her friend's 16-year-old son raped me. And that's very traumatic for a person of that age to have happened to them. Um, I hope no child has to ever go through that. And when I told my mom, well, she said no, it couldn't have happened. It didn't happen. And then she beat me and said I was to never say anything about it again. So, of course, I didn't. But when we were 11, our house burnt. We were living in Indiana at the time, and our house burnt, so we had to move back to Virginia, or to Virginia, actually. We'd never lived here up until we moved back. My mom and dad moved back in 1976. That's the year my younger brother was born. But yeah, we moved back here when I was 11. Had my first boyfriend when I was 12 years old. My first kiss. My first girlfriend when I was 13. Of course, my first time was with my boyfriend. And I will say he was very gentle, very kind, very loving. I miss him. He was a good friend. He got killed in 2006 doing the same type of work I do. He got electrocuted. But yeah, me and my mom, we had a lot of fights and stuff when I was coming up, and she used to beat me all the time. But when I turned 15, which I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's what I looked like when I was 15. I moved out. I started staying with friends. I would go home every once in a while on a weekend, but I stayed away. I got into drugs, alcohol, um, started smoking marijuana, or weed as I call it, when I was 15, and cigarettes, and of course drinking, and throughout that time, from then till in 92, more 91 when I met my wife, um, I've had 4 other boyfriends, so 5 total. I had 6 girlfriends all total till I met my wife and we got married. Um, this is my mom and dad and me on my wedding day. And of course, like I said, I was a partier. Used to love to drink and do drugs and carry on. But been married to my wife since 1992, so it's been 20 years. Never cheated on my wife. Wouldn't even think of it. I can't fathom people doing that. I was always raised that if you love somebody, you marry them, you take them vows very serious. Um, it's that same year, my sister, that's me and my nephew. No, that's in 93, excuse me. That's in 93, me and my nephew. Sorry for the picture, guys, but I don't have any other way to convey this to you. Oh, by the way, this is what I looked like when we moved to Virginia. So, but yes, things did get at the point that I tried to take my life. Um, I had a gun, stuck to my head, pulled all 9 shots, and nothing happened. It wouldn't go off. So I thought it was something wrong with the gun. I took it to a friend of mine and said, "Can you fix this?" I was, quote, target practicing, and it wouldn't go off. And it worked fine the day before, because me and a couple of my friends were out shooting, and it had worked fine the day before. Well, he pointed it at a tree, pulled all 9 shots, and all 9 of them went off. So it just wasn't meant for that to happen. And I'm so glad that it didn't, because it does get better. It gets a whole lot better. I enjoy life. Um, so if anybody's thinking of doing anything to themselves, please get in touch with me. I'll talk to you about it. Try to help you what I can. But I was diagnosed with a bloodborne disease called hepatitis C. It affects your liver, uh, can cause cirrhosis, can even cause your death. I went on medicines for it, and of course doing that, it's a type of a medicine that is like a cancer remitting drug. I lost down to about 110 pounds, and I weighed almost 200. So I'm back up now. I was at 150, now I'm up to 180, so I need to go on a diet. But yeah, my mom, she passed in '08, and that's been one of the hardest things I've had to go through. So I still miss her, because later on in my life, me and my mom got on good terms. Matter of fact, she became my best friend. I could tell her anything, everything. We talked all the time. My mom called me and said, "I need you." I was there. Vice versa, if I called her and said, "Mom, I need you here," she was there. I uh, I really miss my mom a lot. It's still a lot of times that I just break down when thinking about it. But anyway, that's my story up to now. So, and yes, I am bisexual, but I support the LGBTQ community. So, any questions, ask them. Um, I'll tell you the answer as best as I can. So anyway, this is for all my subscribers and the people that follow me. Thanks, guys. Love you.